Hi and welcome to Warsaw, a bustling metropolis in the center of Europe, and the proud capital of Poland. A city which is marked by contrast and a rough history. But nowadays, Warsaw grows, modernizes and invests. And today we take a look underground where the expanding Warsaw Metro is our topic of today. Let's dive in. Warsaw has tried to start constructing a metro system since 1925, with the first plans originating from shortly after Polish independence in 1918. Due to financial hardships caused by the Great Depression in the late 20s and early 30s, followed by the Second World War, it never came further than some initial tunnels. During the reconstruction of Warsaw, the communist leadership set up the city according to their principles, which was more decentralized. None of the initial ideas for a suburban rail with a tunnel in the center came into fruition, leaving Warsaw without a rapid transit system for quite some time. The idea of a metro was brought up again, but planning was slow and taking a decision was further slowed by a bad economy. The construction of Line M1 was finally started in 1983, but moved in a very slow pace due to outdated methods and tools, resulting in an opening in 1995. In the first 3 years, M1 had 11 stations, running between Kabate and Politechnica. Line M1 gradually extended to its final 21 station version up until 2008. Line M2's route was finally confirmed in 2006, and the tender for construction was finally completed in 2009. The initial section of the line opened in 2015 between Rondo Dajinskiego and Dworzec Wileński. The plan was to open this section for the European Championship in 2012, but this was proven to be too ambitious. Line M2 was then extended in 2 steps, to Trocka and Księcia Janusa in 2020 and in 2022 to Bemowo and Brudno. This brings us to the network of today. The Warsaw Metro consists of 2 lines, totaling 41 kilometers. It uses standard gauge at 1435mm and is powered by 750 volts DC third rail. The system is designed for the use of 6-car metro trains. The M1 runs from Kabate to Młociny and stays completely on the left bank of the Vistula River. It is with 23.7 kilometers the longest of the 2 lines. Line M2 starts in Bemowo and meets M1 at Świętokrzyska, before crossing the Vistula to terminate in Brudno. The extensions to Bemowo and Brudno are recently opened. The metro currently only has a depot at Kabate. Let's now have a look at the ridership. The metro in Warsaw was used by over 180.6 million passengers in 2021. This was a year which was significantly impacted by the pandemic and its various measures, such as work from home policies and closed borders. Nevertheless, this still amounted to nearly 500,000 passengers per day. In 2019, for comparison, 241.8 million passengers used the system, while the system back then lacked the extension to Księcia Janusa. For 2019, this brings the average to 662.5 thousand passengers a day. The busiest station is, rather obviously, Świętokrzyska, the only stop where a transfer between the lines is possible, while being located centrally in the city. During the more normal period of 2021, starting from September, the Warsaw Metro operated in an interval of 2 minutes and 20 seconds on M1 and 2 minutes and 50 seconds on Line M2. Let's now have a look at the fleet. The fleet consists of 4 types, despite the network only consisting of 2 lines. Both lines are nowadays using a mix of types. The oldest type in the fleet is the 81 series, built by Metro Wagomash, of which the earliest ones were built in the last remainders of the Soviet Union in 1990. Warsaw uses 3 variants of it, which were delivered in waves up until 2009. The 81 series in Warsaw used 2 cab cars and 4 trailer cars, making up trains of 6 cars. All 81 series trains are operating on M1. The Warsaw Metro operates 22 trains of the 81 series. The second type in the fleet is the Also Metropolis 98B, as one of the earlier types of the Also Metropolis family. These trains were delivered between 2000 and 2005. Also, all Metropolis trains run exclusively on M1 and are comprised of 6 cars. There are 80 Metropolises active on the Warsaw Metro. The third type of the fleet is the Siemens Inspiro, of which Warsaw Metro was the launch customer. This type entered service in 2013 and is now the most common type in the fleet with 35 units. The Inspiro is currently the only type active on both the M1 and the M2. And finally, the fourth type, the new kid on the block, and one of the reasons I decided to prioritize this video, is the Skoda Varsovia. This type just started operating in commercial service, although on test basis, since the end of October. This type, unlike the other types, is specifically designed for Warsaw. 4 trains are currently delivered as part of a 37 train order, with 8 options. The Skoda Varsovias are needed to support a growing ridership and to facilitate extensions. All 37s should be delivered by the end of 2023. And that brings us to the future. Not unlike the earlier episodes in this series, the Warsaw Metro will see an extended network in the future. The speed of the network extension in Warsaw is rather fast. Within 5 years I've seen the M2 in the shape it was opened, and now 2 stages of extensions are already opened. Line M2 will receive 3 more stops on its western end by 2024. Which will make Karolin the final stop. M2 will also receive its own depot at Karolin. Besides the extension of M2, Warsaw will also receive a new metro line, the M3. This line will initially be built on the right bank of the Vistula River, starting with a connection with the M2 at Stadion Narodowy. The initial stage will consist of 6 new stations and its own depot. The line will terminate at Wrocław. This initial stage should be completed by 2028. New directions for extending this line are still to be planned. I really hope you enjoyed this video about the metro in Warsaw. It was really nice to include the new train type, as well as the recently opened extensions to Brudno and Bemowo. If you'd like to see more of my work in the future, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you very much for watching.